Today I'm going to be dialing in the foot ergonomics of this KTM with these Flo Motorsports shifter and brake pedal. Check it out.
In the last episode we set up this bike with plastics and graphics. This thing's really starting to look like a race bike.
So here's our shifter. Let's check out the brake pedal. This is the big part. This thing was about 130 bucks. Foldable brake tip. Let's see what it looks like.
Both of these parts feature high strength aluminum. The shifter is forged with a block of 60-61 and the brake pedal is forged with a block of 70-75 T6 aluminum. The 70-75 on the brake is a lot stronger and it offers 2 times the strength of the 60-61 on the shifter.
Stickers, that's awesome. We like stickers.
It's pretty impressive to know how durable this brake pedal is.
Thing feels stout, that's for sure. There we are, shifter and the brake pedal. This brake pedal has the foldable tip. That's kind of the big deal about these parts. They're CNC machined, very lightweight, but also durable at the same time. And this foldable tip is their unbreakable design, and it's also replaceable. If it's broken, you can unthread it here and throw a new one on. I'm impressed with how they look. Let's throw them on the bike and see how they feel. Right off the bat, I do see a bit of a different curvature here. I'm interested to see how it feels when I throw it on. Alright, we're starting with the shifter. Here's a side-by-side look of the aftermarket versus the stock. This KTM shifter is so much easier to place than my Yamaha. One of the many reasons why I love my KTM is the ease of working on them. You can see it loosen up, it's wiggling now. I'm just going to keep on doing this. So it is pretty dirty in here, so what I'm going to do is get some brake cleaner, paper towel. Using brake cleaner here because I do want this to dry up right after I use it. I cleaned up behind the shifter, all this metal behind, as well as the seal behind the spline. Here's the new shifter. When I'm installing this, I just want to align it so that it's about level with the foot pegs. Gonna wiggle so that this is all the way in so that I don't force it when I screw it in with the bolt. The Loctite, I like to go around about the first half of the threads. Got that started by hand, now I'll finish it off with the T-handle. Definitely don't want to go too tight on this bolt. This is another one that has those washers that grip each other, so this one does not need too much torque. Go right there, and that's good. I got the Flo foot pegs, Flo shifter, and the Flo radiator guards, and now we're also going to have the Flo foot brake on the other side. So let's do that next. Next up is going to be our brake pedal. This is going to be a little bit more complicated, but nonetheless, let's do it. What I'm going to do first is start to uninstall the hardware off of this old foot brake right here. Got this bolt, this swivel bolt right here, and this pivot bolt right here. Swivel bolts out, I'm going to throw that directly into the new foot brake. Going to be throwing blue Loctite on these threads as well. This is not going to get any Loctite because this is simply an adjusting bolt. Now the next problem is that I can't fit it into position. It doesn't fit into the slot that it's supposed to go through, which is back here. So what I'm going to do is remove this brake tip off the top, and then I'll be able to slide it through, and that'll also give me the opportunity to throw some Loctite on that to make sure it stays in place. So like I said, we're just going to take this off. So I got the rear wheel lifted up with this ratchet strap, holding the linkage out of the way.
Here's where the brake pedal install gets a little bit tricky. With the rear wheel lifted up with that ratchet strap, I'm able to fish this pedal through the frame of the bike, underneath the engine, and into the correct placement. It ends up scratching up the lever a little bit, but Nothing compared to the frustration that it would have been if I had to take the bike completely apart.
There we go. Gonna go with the adjusting bolt first. Have that matched up to about 2 threads to where it was before. I'm gonna throw blue Loctite on this one. Next, I'm gonna get the brake pedal tip back on. Just gotta make sure that I set the spring correctly so that I get the right tension. Gonna reinstall this brake pedal tip with red Loctite. That's what they use from the Flo factory, so that's what I'm gonna use as well. Next, I'm going to line the plunger up with the master cylinder. Here's the bolt that holds the brake pedal on. I'm just going to throw some grease around the pivot point of this bolt. Put plenty of grease on that. Now on the threads, I'm going to get some Loctite. Slide that through, and we'll get this nut on from the back. Bolts pushed through, nuts on there. Gonna take this 13mm wrench, and we'll slung this up. Lastly, we got our spring. If you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to drop a like. Race season's coming up soon, so I'm really trying to get this bike ready for the weekend so I can do some riding. Got a couple more parts that I gotta do, and then hopefully we'll be riding this weekend. We'll be recording that footage for you guys and uploading it to YouTube as well. Stay tuned for that. If you like the video, go drop a like, subscribe for more.